Just really, really proud of our guys. Just fought all the way to the end this whole season. What these guys have been through, the adversity that they had to deal with. And for them to show, we were down big late, and just to show the love for each other and the connectiveness, and the true caring to fight all the way back like that to give yourself a chance to win that game is just phenomenal. There's a lot of emotions in that locker room right now. I wish I could have did a little bit more myself to help those guys and to help them win this one too, to keep going, because we're playing good basketball at times, and it's really, really hard for the seniors. But you got to give Wisconsin credit too. Some guys that have been struggling shooting the basketball shot really well tonight. I thought we came out and played really good basketball early, and then we got in foul trouble, and it just turned the whole tide for us at that point with our foul trouble. And then the second half, we got down, but man, these guys they don't ever stop. They don't ever stop. And hopefully we get to continue to keep playing a little bit more here. I mean, when you look at our metrics and who we are as a team and who's playing well, hopefully we have an opportunity for postseason play.
Thank you, Coach. Corey Geiger, let's come to you. Mark Brennan, you're on deck.
Jim, I'm not trying to get you in trouble here with the officials, but Davison looked to be falling out of bounds when he called the timeout. What did they explain to you on that? Should he have been able to get a timeout there, falling out of bounds?
He looked like he was falling out of bounds to me as well. They said he had his foot down.
Mark Brennan, let's come to you for your question. Ben Jones, you're on deck.
Jim, I'm sure it was tough in the locker room, but what do you say to the guys, and what do you say to Sam? I mean, he had such a huge role in you guys getting back into that game and giving you a shot, and then obviously things don't go quite right at the end. So how do you handle that situation as a coach?
I told him I love him, appreciate every single one of them, and that we all grew, absolutely all grew from this season.
Ben Jones, let's come to you for a question. Then Davey Jones, you'll be on deck.
Jim, the decision to sit John in the first half and then MJ didn't play for the final 4 or 5 minutes or so, both of those, what were sort of the thoughts that went into that?
John having 2 fouls, it was such a physical game, and the flow of the whistles. Like there were a lot of calls in the first half, and I just didn't want to risk having John in there to pick up his third. He's just too vital to what we do. We were up 8, and then he picked up his foul, and I think they made like 11 free throws in a row in the first half. And I didn't feel like we could risk, having him get in foul trouble just because he's so important for us, and we try to survive it. The MJ situation, it was just a matter of who had it going late, and Sam really had it going, breaking him down, getting to the rim. I think he made like 3 baskets in a row to really get us back in it. So that was all. Just that.
Dave Jones, let's come to you. Nick Bauer, you'll be on deck.
Jim, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I watched a lot of basketball teams, and I don't know that I've seen a team that plays as hard when things aren't going well, and consistently so. What do you think has made that happen with this club all year?
I think there's a lot of heart in that room. We're a bunch of competitors. We trust each other. I think we always play with confidence no matter what. I think it starts with John and Jamari. These guys got a lot of fight in them, man. And that's why it's so disappointing, because we all just want to keep playing.
What do you think you had to do with it?
I'm the older guy in the room, just trying to, keep everybody focused, keep everybody present, keep everybody poised, and just try to make everybody feel good and help them get better every day. That's what a coach does.
Nate Bauer, let's come to you for your question. Chris Heidel, you'll be on deck.
In the stretch of hot shooting for Wisconsin that kind of bridged the end of the first half and the start of the second half, I guess how are you trying to counteract that? What did you feel like led to that for them?
The foul trouble that we got in. Like I said, I think we were up 8, if I'm correct, and then I think they had like 11 free. I mean, they went 11 for 11 in the first half, which was, obviously you got to credit them. But when we got in foul trouble, it kind of hurt the whole flow of everything. I think John had to. Who else? Trent had to. Sam had to. We were in a flow, and then it kind of, and you got to give them credit. They were aggressive. They were getting in there and posting us, and then it broke us down. I thought we became a little bit passive at that point, and then they went on that string. And I thought that 3 that they hit right at the end of the half was big. I think it was a 7-point game, and then we wound up being down 10. So that was tough.
Title, let's come to you for a question. Daniel Gallen, you'll be on deck.
Hi, Coach. Sorry about the loss this evening. Just talk about your season with the team. I know you were brought into this, with what's going on up there at State College. Just talk about your whole season and what do you think about your future with Penn State?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to talk about the whole season right now. We're still pretty emotional, still pretty raw. I love these kids. I love these guys. They've all given their heart and soul. Everybody did. Everybody associated with the program did. It's always hard when a season comes to an end. But especially this one, in the way it did, because these guys had so much fight. These guys could have laid down several times this year in tough situations, and they never did. And to me, that's what makes me proud, more so than the wins and the losses. It's just that, these guys are going to be prepared to handle a lot of things that are going to be a lot tougher in their life because of what they went through right now. And that's what I kind of said to the guys is, whichever direction everybody goes in the future, you're never going to forget this.
Daniel Gallen, let's come to you. Dave Melinda, you'll be on deck for questions.
Jim, you guys get that rebound with 20 seconds left and no timeouts. What did you want to see on that final play, and where was Sam trying to go with the ball on that last one?
So the previous, 3 or 4 possessions, we went for the high ball screen with Sam, and he got layups and fouls, and we were going right back at it. You got to give them credit. They did a good job. Kicked it back to Jamari. I thought Jamari might have driven it at that point. He didn't give it back to Sam. Sam had it going, and we were trying to get the same stuff that we got the past 3 possessions.
Dave Melinda, let's come to you for a question.
Hey, Coach, what will be your message overall to the fan base about how you guys fought all season and not basically, as you said, at times you felt like
you're on deck.
that you wanted to lay down?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
What would be your message to the fans and just to everybody in college basketball show that you guys were not going to give up all season? And it said there were times you felt like you guys wanted to lay down, but not really. You kept going all the way through. What is your message to State College and the rest of college basketball about you?
Our guys never wanted to lay down. They actually had options. They could have if they didn't have such great character. I just think the wins and losses. We didn't finish with as many wins as we wanted to. But when you look at this team and the way this team is built, for anybody that knows the game of basketball at all, to see what these guys have done and see what we've all done as a group, you got to really appreciate that. We're a little undersized. We don't necessarily have an NBA player, and we're playing with the best teams in the country to the last second, to the last shot every single night. I would assume that the Penn State fans, because that's what Penn State fans are, the real fans that really appreciate everything these guys do. If people don't recognize and cherish what they just saw in everybody, but more so in John Hara and Jamari Wheeler, then I think everybody missed the boat. That was pretty unbelievable. I know I grew as a person by just being around these guys for the past 4 years, and especially this year. So should be damn proud of these kids, where they represented this program and this university in difficult times.
Geiger, let's come to you. Here will be our rundown. Mark Brennan, Evan Patrick, Dave Eckert, Justin Morgenstein, and we'll wrap it up.
Jim, just to confirm, if the NIT is available, Do you want to play in the NIT? And whose choice will that be? Will it be the players or the school?
We will absolutely play in the NIT, and we were all on the same page. School, the players, we all want to play. We want to keep this thing going. So if we get invited, we'd be more than happy. We'd be excited to play in the NIT. Absolutely.
Mark Brennan, let's come to you. Evan Patrick, you're on deck.
Jim, Corey asked my question, so I know that it's late there. I'm not going to bother you with another question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Evan Patrick, let's come to you. David Eckert, Justin Morgenstein, you'll wrap up this session.
Jim, you've been in the coaching ranks for such a long time, but the way you've talked about this group throughout the entire year, it seems like it's been a really special, close-knit group. What about the group has been unique for you, and what are you going to remember most about these guys?
Yeah, guys, just the whole year, the whole adversity, middle of a pandemic, and, Coach Chambers resigning, like that's a lot of stuff, and people really don't realize how hard this year was for the players, for the coaches. Like it was like no other. And I've been coaching for a long time, and I've coached championship teams with great leaders, and, gone to the NCAA tournament and all that stuff. But ultimately, as a coach, it's about the players. It's about the kids, and you just want to help them. And everything got just turned upside down, and I want to make sure you're there for these guys. And I'm just so proud of them. I'm proud of every single one of them. They never gave up. They never gave in. And they were always there for each other, and that's something that's special. And as a coach, that's the stuff that you want to see. That's the stuff that's more important than wins and losses, is that, when these guys leave this program now, they're going to be better for what they've had to go through and do it together, and realizing, there's going to be worse adversity in their lives than what we had. But for them right now, this is pretty big. And to see them, lean on each other and come together and just open up one another, I think that just shows so much character. And like I said, I'm so proud for these guys. And I'll always be there for these guys forever.
Dave Eckert, let's come to you. Justin Morgenstein, you'll wrap up the session.
Jim, you mentioned earlier about, learning some things this season. I'm just wondering, what have you learned from all of this? What can you take away that, will stick with you moving forward?
Lots, but when you're around a guy like John Hara every day, and it's just his approach to life, his approach to how to deal with other people. You guys have heard me speak about him so many times. And Jamari, like I said, these guys could have easily just said, all right, no one thinks we're going to be any good this year. We can just pack it in. Like, you're around a bunch of championship people, and it just breeds, success amongst us all. And whether it's the little phone calls or the text messages or the stuff together, it's just, I grew as a coach. I grew as a person. And hopefully I was able to impact these guys' lives as well to help them grow.
Justin Morgenstein, let's go to one last question. We'll wrap it up.
Jim, you kind of just touched on it there, but, what effect did your players and staff, not only have on you as a coach, but you personally, and how are you going to, continue those relationships, whether you're coaching here or not?
This is why you coach. Everybody thinks it's, get championship rings and wear fancy suits and all that stuff. This is why you coach. To be there for these guys be there for you, the relationships. It's pretty special. It's pretty special. And you'll never forget a year like this. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I think we all committed to give these guys, these student athletes, the best experience we could in tough times. And I think we all worked really, really hard. And that's everybody, staff, trainer, administration, everybody. So, but hopefully we still get to play. I will politic for that. I think we're one of the better teams in the country the way we're playing. I think our numbers, our metrics dictate that. Whether it's the NCAA tournament or certainly the NIT, a lot of people in the country would really appreciate seeing this team play again. on a national stage, and if that's the NIT, then so be it. Let's go. We'd love to do.
Coach